Yes, it's time for another album ranking. Today we are ranking the metal giants Iron Maiden. This is indeed going to be my biggest album ranking on this channel since my Dream Theater album ranking, because you guys know that Iron Maiden is one of my favorite bands. Of course, you guys have explored me experiencing Iron Maiden for the first time. But since I stopped reactions, I did indeed listen to all their albums, fell in love with them, really enjoyed their music. Love Bruce Dickinson's era, absolutely love Paul Di'Anno's era, and I also love now Blaze Bayley's era. There is not one bad fucking Iron Maiden album in my opinion. They are just solid releases, and this was indeed one of my hardest album rankings I ever had to fucking do on this channel. It's gonna pay me to put albums where they are going to be. Finally, you're gonna receive my Iron Maiden album ranking. So my first Iron Maiden song was on this channel, and that was Hallowed Be Thy Name. I listened to that song automatically. The album I checked out, you actually saw, and it was Seventh Son of a some more Iron Maiden. We reacted to Powerslave. We also reacted to Somewhere in Time. We reacted to Number of the Beast. We reacted to Killers. We reacted to the self-titled album. You have seen most of my Iron Maiden exploration, haven't you? You also saw me not liking Empire of the Clouds as well, if you remember. All the good times we had during the reactions. After I stopped reactions for Iron Maiden, I fell in love with them. To be honest, Iron Maiden are one of my favorite bands of all time now. So it's gonna be really hard, it's gonna be really painful, but you could say I'm a new fan as well. But I am a pretty big fan of Iron Maiden now. But I had the privilege to actually check out all their albums and didn't have to wait for any new albums to come out. So we have 16 albums to fucking rank. The weakest album in my opinion is The Final Frontier. So this comes at number 16. Probably not a surprise to a lot of people. Bruce Dickinson's vocals are okay in this, but some of his vocals, he sounds very strained and quite stressed. I just feel like some of these songs are very repetitive and quite long as well. You got some good songs like The Final Frontier and El Dorado is a good song, along with The Talisman and When the Wild Wind Blows. When the Wild Wind Blows is an absolutely fantastic fucking song. I love how apocalyptic the themes are on this song, not to mention that melody. So damn good. The Talisman is an amazing song, but you get songs like The Starblind, Mother of Mercy, Coming Home. A lot of these songs are very overbloated and nothing really happens with these songs. I do really enjoy the song El Dorado, but I just feel that there are so many better Iron Maiden albums. So many better Iron Maiden albums than this one. That's why it's last. Next up is X Factor. X Factor is a very good album. Blaze Bayley comes in and he absolutely tears it. Some really good songs like Sign of the Cross, Lord of the Flies. One of my least favorite songs off the album would probably be Blood on the World's Hand. This is indeed my worst Iron Maiden song of all time in my opinion. But this is a much more proggier album and a much more darker album. This is when Iron Maiden were becoming more proggier. We were seeing longer songs as well. Some really nice intricate guitar work by Dave Murray and Yannick as well. Not to mention, Blaze really becomes his own on this album. But of course his vocals at times aren't very good on this album in my opinion. Some of his vocals really let down the songs. Of course, Fortunes of War is a fantastic song. It's a fun album. Now this album was going to be my last album because I never used to like the X Factor. But I listened to it again and I really like it now. So I really like the X Factor, and that's why it's second last.
Fortunes of war, no pain anymore. Fortunes of war.
Next up is Virtual 11, another Blaze Bayley album. Look, it's a good album. A lot of this is repetitive. Like The Angel and the Gambler, don't you think I'm a savior? Repeat the fucking chorus 22 fucking times in 10-minute song. There's really no intricacy on this album. and I just feel that it's a very fun album, and I feel like it's slightly better than X Factor just because the production is a lot better, and that's it. But there are some repetitive songs like When Two Worlds Collide. There's a lot of repetitive factors on this album. It's not Blaze's fault. Awesome songs like the legendary song The Clansman's on it, along with Como Estas Amigos. Oh. If we lived for 100 years, amigos, no more tears. So damn good. Virtual 11 has some really strong factors as well, but it's coming third last.
Don't you think I'm a savior? Don't you think I could save you?
So these are the albums that I fucking love now, and we're going for No Prayer for the Dying. I think this is the second weakest Bruce Dickinson album, in my opinion, but it's still a very fun album. Now this is when Adrian Smith left the band, I believe, so they're on a sort of a bit of a bumpy ride here, but you couldn't really tell, to be honest, because there's some amazing songs like Tail Gunner, Holy Smokes, No Prayer for the Dying, Fate's Warning, Assassin, Run Silent, Run Deep, Hooks in You, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. So damn good, those songs, along with Mother Russia. Now, I just feel that this album doesn't have its epic like every single other Iron Maiden album does. So I just feel that No Prayer for the Dying lacks its epic, and this is why it's in this position.
From the trees, the snowflakes drift and twirling round like ghosts in the snow. Mother Russia.
So coming in next is the Book of Souls, and this is their last album. The reason why it's this low is because of the vocal, it's because of Bruce Dickinson's vocals on this album, and some of these songs are incredibly bloated and quite repetitive at times. My favorite song off the album would probably be The Red and the Black, and also The Book of Souls. The Book of Souls is a great song, but some of these songs are incredibly long. This is a very progressive metal album by Iron Maiden, but there are some repetitive factors on this album. The Man of Sorrows is one of the worst vocal performances by Bruce Dickinson, in my opinion, but to close off an album like Empire of the Clouds is to be commended. Now, at first listen, I didn't really enjoy Empire of the Clouds, but it's taken me 2 years to actually really appreciate this song, and finally I'm loving it. Although the instrumental throughout Empire of the Clouds is slightly longer than expected, but it's a great fucking song, and if this is the last Iron Maiden song ever, I wouldn't even worry, because they are a legendary band. Okay, so next up is 2003's Dance of Death, and the worst fucking Iron Maiden cover, and possibly the worst album cover. I mean, what the fuck were they thinking with that album cover? Seriously, it's horrible. It's absolutely fucking horrible. The actual album is absolute fire. Absolutely love this album, I really do. Rainmaker is one of my favorite songs, along with No More Lies, No More Lies. And Dance of Death is fantastic. Love the Celtic feel, along with Passchendaele. Oh, Passchendaele is such a beautiful song. At times these songs are quite long, but they don't have that repetitive factor like the other albums I have mentioned. Some really good moments, some really nice solos as well. Adrian Smith, Dave Murray, and Yannick really shine on this album as well, especially the guitar work. And the end of the album is such a really beautiful way, and that's Journeyman. And Journeyman isn't an epic. You would say it isn't an epic because we had the epic with Passchendaele and also Dance of Death, but Journeyman is a full-on acoustic backbone song that will just melt your heart. Such a beautiful fucking song.
Laying low in a blood-filled trench.
So coming up next is 1992's Fear of the Dark. Now, I love this album, I really do. This album really grows on you, it does, and you know what, they incorporate elements of very different sort of metal, like glam metal at times, especially through Weekend Warrior, along with just rock, like From Here to Eternity, sounds like an AC/DC song. They really experiment on this album. It's definitely one of the darkest sounding Iron Maiden albums, in my opinion. It's quite dark, and it's quite aggressive in tone as well. Love Dickinson's vocals on this album. Some really nice guitar work as well. Fear of the Dark is a beautiful song along Afraid to Shoot Strangers, which was a very eerie song. Even those melodies are quite infectious in tone. Overall, it's such a really cool album. From Quick or Be Dead, it's fast and energetic and quite aggressive. His vocals are fantastic as always. And I just love how this album flows so well, so cohesively well. But you got some weak songs like Weekend Warrior. Weekend Warrior doesn't sound like an Iron Maiden song in my opinion. Judas Be My Guide is a good song. The Apparition is okay. I love Chains of Misery. Great song. Did it? He got the chains of misery. Okay, so are you ready for something big? Okay, so coming at number 9 is this is going to piss a lot of people off. The Number of the Beast. And I don't care if I piss anyone off. Listen, I love this album. I really do. But I just feel that this is not their best album. No fucking way is The Number of the Beast their best album. A lot of people would have this at 1, but I just feel there are so much better albums. Just because they have Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, and Hallowed Be Thy Name doesn't mean that this is the best Iron Maiden album. There are some stinkers on this album, like Gangland. Gangland is not a good song by Iron Maiden in my opinion. It's just generic. And Invaders is okay. You got amazing gems like 22 Acacia Avenue, which is fucking underrated as fuck, that song. But I just feel this album, I just feel The Number of the Beast is way overrated. Maybe this album's high up on everyone's list is because it's Bruce's first album. And his vocals on this album are fucking amazing. They really are. Especially that scream, The Number of the Beast. Wow. Absolutely amazing. But again, Bruce performs better on other albums. That's just my opinion. Okay, so next up is, oh, here we go, A Matter of Life and Death. Oh, wow, yeah. Whoa, you put A Matter of Life and Death above Number of the Beast, Ray! That's what you guys will say. But I absolutely love this album. I just feel like it's slightly better than the other albums I have mentioned. It's a proggy album. Some songs are absolutely amazing, like Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, These Colors Don't Run, The Epic, The Legacy, The Reincarnation of Benjamin Brigg. How good is that song? It's just pure proggy goodness on this album. I just love how Iron Maiden became prog on this album. Some absolutely amazing songs, beautiful long songs as well. 10-minute plus songs, 10-minute plus songs at times. Just such a really awesome album. And it's a long album, but talks about the themes of war. And I just feel that this album is underrated. A lot of people don't actually talk about this album anymore. Don't even actually acknowledge. I feel that this is their best post Brave New World album. Absolutely love it. And I really enjoy Lord of Light. I know Quest for Metal doesn't enjoy Lord of Light, the silly cunt, but I do. Absolutely great fucking song. He should definitely wash his fucking ears out. Has he not heard that guitar solo on Lord of Light? Yeah, so really good solos on this album. Absolutely love it. So next up is the debut album, Iron Maiden. This is Paul Di'Anno's era. Some amazing songs on this album. This is more on the borderline of punk. Damn, it's such a good fucking album. You got a prog song like Phantom of the Opera, which is amazing, along with Prowler. Remember Tomorrow is one of the best Iron Maiden songs in my opinion. I believe Opeth covered that as well, and Opeth did a great fucking job with Remember Tomorrow. But Remember Tomorrow by Iron Maiden is so damn good, along with Charlotte the Harlot. And to finish off the album is Iron Maiden, the actual song. And Iron Maiden, the actual song is fantastic. Paul Di'Anno's vocals are absolutely fantastic on this. What more can you say? This is a fantastic fucking debut from Iron Maiden. Next up is Killers. Now this is the top album by Paul Di'Anno. This was released in 1981. Some absolutely incredible songs as well, like Wrathchild. I'm a Wrathchild, along with Murders in the Rue Morgue. So damn good, along with Another Life, Genghis Khan, where Papa Roach ripped off that riff for Cut My Life into Pieces. This is my last resort. Fucking dickheads. Along with Killers, Prodigal Son, Purgatory, and The Drifter. Some amazing songs off this album. Really nice gritty guitar riffs. Really love it. Love the solos. This is probably one of the most fun Iron Maiden albums. It's just fucking flawless, this album. So coming in at number 5 is Peace of Mind. This album is absolutely fucking fantastic. I believe I did a reaction to this, and wow, I fell in love with it. There's not one song that I don't like off this album. This album is close to a masterpiece. Absolutely love it. To kick off the album, you get Where Eagles Dare, then you got Revelations, that really slow, gritty guitar riff from Revelations, along with Fly on Your Way, Flight of Icarus, Die With Your Boots On, the iconic song, The Trooper. How good is that fucking song? But I just feel like The Trooper is overplayed now. You got Still Life, Quest for Fire, Sun and Still, which is a very good song. And I believe Quest for Metal as well doesn't like this song. I mean, what the fuck? Sun and Still's a great fucking song, you dickhead. Along with To Tame a Land. Oh, so damn good. Yeah, this album is absolutely fantastic. I played this album countless fucking times. I never get fucking sick or tired of it. Never get fucking sick or tired of it. It's like a masterpiece by Iron Maiden. I absolutely love Bruce Dickinson's vocals on this album. Although some people say that the album dies. I disagree. It doesn't die. Of course, Quest for Fire and Sun and Still are the weakest songs off the album. But damn, it's a still fiery album, so get fucked. Coming in at number 4 is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. So this was my first ever Iron Maiden album. Yep, my first ever Iron Maiden album, and I reacted to it on the channel, and wow, I fell in love with it. It's a concept album. It's absolutely fantastic. Moonchild, Infinite Dreams, Can I Play With Badness? So damn good. With Evil That Men Do. Then you got that 10-minute long song by Maiden with Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, instrumental, and Bruce's elongated vocals on that song. It's so damn good. Oh, the build up with the beautiful synths. Oh, I love this album. I really do. The Prophecy is a good song. The Clairvoyant, it's alright. But then you got Only the Good Die Young. So yeah, a lot of people would have this at number 1. This was my number 1 until I discovered a few other albums higher than The Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. So yeah, an absolute masterpiece by Iron Maiden. Absolutely fucking adore it. Although I have overplayed this album a lot, but it's still in this position just because it's one of the best.
Only the good die young. All the evil seem to live forever.
Next up is Powerslave. Oh wow, what an incredible album. Another masterpiece by Maiden. Some incredible songs like 2 Minutes to Midnight, along with the instrumental Lost for Words. It's a really tight and cohesive songs. Flash of the Blade, The Duelist, Back in the Village is not a good song by Iron Maiden. I don't care what anyone says. I don't like that song. You got Powerslave. And my favourite song of all time, which is Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. It's got that fucking song, and it's just it's a fantastic, flowing, free album by Iron Maiden. I love it, I really do, and it's energetic, it's fast-hitting, amazing solos by Adrian Smith, Dave Murray, and some really incredible drumming by Nico as well. So overall, I absolutely love this album. And these when the albums can alternate. Second is Brave New World. Now this was gonna be my number 1 until I re-listened to another album, which I will mention after. But Brave New World comes at number 2. It's very close to number 1 because I absolutely fucking love this album. I think Brave New World is an absolute masterpiece. It really is. And its return to Iron Maiden, the return of Bruce Dickinson, return of Adrian Smith. This album has it all. It's a mixture of new Maiden and old Maiden. Some amazing songs like The Wicker Man, Ghost of the Navigator, We're Blood Brothers. I just love how proggy this album is as well. The different time signatures, the amazing moments. The Dream of Mirrors is absolutely fantastic song. At times, Nico's drumming is quite basic, especially on Dream of Mirrors, but fuck me, it's a great fucking song. Amazing guitar solos, tight and cohesive. It's just an overall all-packaged Iron Maiden album. To end off the album is a thin line between love and hate. One of my favourite Maiden songs, so it deserves to be at number 2. And finally, at number 1 is Somewhere in Time. This is indeed the best Iron Maiden album, in my opinion. Absolutely incredible album. Never have I had an album that's 52 minutes long that goes so fucking quickly. Feels like a 20-minute album. It's just absolutely incredible. Amazing song called Somewhere in Time. Amazing ballad, Wasted Years. There is so much emotion conveyed throughout this album. Not to mention amazing guitar solos. Heaven Can Wait. That song is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love the loneliness of the long distance runner. That beautiful chorus. It's a 10 out of 10 album by me. Alexander the Great to end off the album. Somewhere in Time is my favorite album. I just love how proggy this album is as well. And it's got everything that Maiden encapsulates. And that is pure bliss. Pure bliss by this band. Somewhere in Time is my favorite Iron Maiden album. And goddamn, that was a hard ranking to do so. So guys, comment below your favourite Iron Maiden albums. Do you agree or disagree with my opinion? There's going to be a few dislikes, but who cares? My opinion is the law on this channel, and you'll respect my opinion just as I will respect yours. And I will see you in the next one.